Assalamu alaikum wa rahmatullahi wa barakatuh. Welcome to a new episode on Al-Wadihu fi Ahkam Tajweed, the clarity in the rulings of Tajweed. Today we are going to take out through the topic Ahkamu Meem Sakinah, the Ahkam, the rulings that guide Meem Sakinah. Before we dive into this, the primary properties of Meem as an alphabet, that is As-Sifatul Lazima. We have Al-Jahru, which means that Meem is a voice letter. Next, we have a tawassut, meaning it is an in-between letter. It's neither a fricative letter nor a plosive one. We have al-istifal. It's an alphabet that when it is pronounced, the tongue is lowered. It's not raised to the upper palate. We also have al-infitah. It is separated from the upper palate when you pronounce it. Again, it's al-idlaq. It is an eloquent letter. It is among the letters of farqa min lub. And lastly, we have al-ghunna, the vibration that comes out from the nose, the nasal cavity. Remember we said in our previous video that al-ghunna is associated with just two alphabets, an-nun and al-mim. Having gone through the necessary properties of mim as an alphabet, the next should be its secondary properties, that is those ones that occur due to circumstances. As-sifatul arida, those that occur only when the alphabet mim is not having the regular fatha, kasra, or dhamma. That is, those properties that you find in mim as an alphabet only when it happens to be harfun sakin, a letter with sukun, not the usual haraka like fatha, kasra, or dhamma. And this is what is referred to as Ahkamu Meem Sakinah by the scholars of Tajweed. Unlike an-nun sakinah and at-tanween, for mim, we have just three ahkam, three rulings: al-idgham, al-ikhfa, and al-izhar. We've explained these terms, what they mean, but now we are going to go into detail. The first, which is al-idgham. Remember, we say al-idgham means al-idkhal, placing one alphabet into the next. In the case of mim, when you find mim as sakina and another mim coming after it immediately, you have what we call al-idgham. So you must have to place the first alphabet into the next. Also, you must ensure al-ghunna, the vibration from the nose. It must accompany it. And such idgham is known as idgham mutamathilain, or we're having same alphabet coming together. We are placing one into the next. And also it's a form of idgham that is idgham sagir, because it is the lesser form of the idgham. Because we are having the first alphabet as harfun sakin, a letter with sukun, and the next as harfun mutaharrik, the letter with haraka. Unlike in idgham kabir, where we are having both alphabet at harfun mutaharrik, both having haraka. Idgham mutamathilain sagir, and both alphabets can occur in separate words or in the same word. For example, we have وَمِنْهُمْ مَيْ that idgham and gunna accompanying it. كَمْ مِنْ فِئَةٍ كَمْ مِنْ وَلَكُمْ مَا كَسَبْتُمْ. All are in separate words. We have وَهَمَّتْ كُلُّ أُمَّةٍ. Both alphabets are in the same word. The kind of idgham you find in mim as-sakinah is referred to as idghamun shafawi, because it is that idgham that makes use of the shafa, the lips. Unlike nun, you can say my, min. The lips doesn't play a major role in the idgham, but here in al-mim as-sakinah, the lips must come into action. Minhum may, or it's known as idgham shafawi, idgham that is associated with shafa, the lips. The next is al-ikhfa. Like we said in the previous video, al-ikhfa means as-satr, considering an alphabet, not pronouncing it clearly or making it obvious. And this takes place when you have mim as-sakinah and then ba after it. In such a case, the meme will not be given the sign of sukun on it. So you don't pronounce it with much clarity. You have to conceal it, you have to hide it. And at the same time, you ensure al-hunna, the vibration that comes out from the nose before bringing in ba. Just like we have in the case of al-qalb, also known as al-iqlab, among the Ahkamu Meem Sakinah wa Tanween, al-qalb is turning Nun as Sakina or Atenuin into Mim, a different letter. That's it because we are having Ba after it. So it was much easier to tune from Mim into Ba than tuning from Nun into Ba. And here in Al-Mim as-Sakina, such ikhfa is known as ikhfa'un shafawi because it is associated with the shafa, the lips, unlike known as sakina. When you say the lips doesn't play an important role, but here in al-mim sakina, you must make use of the lips, and there should be a gap, a little gap between the lips. However, we have another opinion that allows you to bring them together, even though there is no separation, it's also accepted. But what is important is that you have to conceal the meme before moving into ba, which is why it is sound like al-ikhfa is a state that is in between al-izhar, pronouncing with clarity, the alphabet you are concealing, and merging it, al-izhar, into the next alphabet, which is ba. We have different examples. وَمَا هُمْ بِمُؤْمِنِينَ, the lips. وَمَنْ يَعْتَصِمْ بِاللَّهِ فَاحْكُمْ بَيْنَهُمْ. Doesn't take place unless in two different ways. The meme has to end a word and then the letter ba begin the next. It cannot occur in the same word. I have no such example. And lastly, we are moving to al-izhar. Al-izhar, like we said, it means al-bayan, pronouncing an alphabet with clarity. And this occurs when we are having meme, sakina, and any other alphabet we don't mention. So as long as we're not having meme after meme sakina, nor ba after meme sakina, any other alphabet that comes after, you will have to pronounce meme with clarity, which is why you will only find the sign of sukun on the meme there. So you have to pronounce it clearly. So the other alphabets, excluding meme and ba, when they come after meme as sakina, you will have to do al-izhar. You have to pronounce the meme with clarity without concealing it or placing it into the next alphabet. Am, an'amta, lam, lam yalid wa lam yulad. Alhamdulillah, والشمس وضحاها عليهم غير very easy, and such is known as ishab and shafawi because the lips must come into action. But in the case where we are having the letter fa or letter waw after mim as sakina, the kind of ishab we will experience there will be the strongest. So you have to bring out the mim as much as you can. This is because of the similarity that this alphabet have with meme. So if you do not try to pronounce the meme with clarity or trying to distinguish it totally from the next alphabet, then the difference will not be clear. So you have to pay more attention when we're having any of these two alphabets, alpha and al-waw, coming after al-mim sakina. As for the other alphabet, there's no problem. For example, we have وَهُمْ فِيهَا خَالِدُونَ وَيَمُدُّهُمْ فِي طُغْيَانِهِمْ يَعْمَهُونَ. First meme, I tried my best to pronounce the meme very clearly because we are having letter fa after it. But in the order, I didn't put in much effort because the alphabet coming after it is not as difficult to separate or distinguish like in the case of wow and fa. An example of wow is عليهم ولا الضالين. With this, we come to the end of أحكام الميم الساكنة. والسلام عليكم ورحمة الله وبركاته.